So as a personal injury attorney, I don't think this question has changed at any time in my career, right? How much is my case worth? What's my settlement going to be? And I get this sometimes before people have even started treatment, sometimes after they go to 1 or 2 visits, and sometimes it's like 90 days in. And my answer is always the same. I can tell you what an average case is worth. I can even tell you what an average case with similar injuries to yours generally is. But all of this is based on the fact that with my experience, but also based on the idea that you're going to get better sooner. All right. So until you're done treating, we don't know what your case is going to be like, because I've had cases that I thought were small cases and the client doesn't ever get better and it turns into a big thing where they're having to go see chronic pain management and deal with an issue that's going to last for the rest of their life. I've had other cases where when we first talked to the client, injuries sounded terrible, right? We thought it was going to be a huge life-changing event. And then they get in and bam, it's like a miracle cure. The doctor treats them, they respond super well to chiropractic or physical therapy, and suddenly they're out of pain totally. And I've looked at cars where it's all crushed and I'm like, wow, this guy's going to be in treatment for a long time. And then boom, 90 days later, they're totally fine. They're like, yeah, I just healed. It was great. So there's no way I can tell you what your injury is going to be or what your case is going to be on day one. All right. I don't like to do it until you're all done treating, because there's no set formula or set number like, hey, a case is worth this. Now, I can tell you what an average case is, but this is also an average case based on similar injuries, but similar injuries where somebody got better in a normal or average length of time, right? If you take longer, the case can generally be bigger because we're going to be able to talk about a bigger impact on you. Get better faster, then it's generally going to be a smaller number. Why? Because the impact on you is less, okay? So there's no set formula. What I can tell you is my team is always going to work to get you a fair settlement for your injuries for your case. This includes your bills, your pain and suffering, going over the procedures you had, also the impact to your life. A third thing is we're never going to settle without your input, okay? It's not my case, it's your case. It's not my team's case, it's your case. So we can't settle without your input. Now, we're going to talk to you about what that looks like. So we're going to give you the top number. We're going to give you the whole breakdown of everything. Then we're going to tell you what can go in your pocket, okay? The reason we can do this, or we do this, is because I don't like surprises. There's nothing worse than getting somebody who gives you a quote to do some work on your house. You give them a thumbs up, and then what happens? At the end of the day, like, oh, I was wrong. You owe me 50% more money. It always makes me angry. I don't want that to happen to you. So we're going to give you that breakdown and show you exactly what the top number is, but also what the number is that goes in your pocket. I understand this is a tough time for most people. You've been in an accident, you're in pain, you're injured. I can tell you my team is going to do everything we can to support you and move you through this and work on this portion of your case. So if you found this helpful, click like and subscribe to stay informed on more FAQs as we answer more client questions. And if you need more assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to my team or your attorney. And if you're not one of my clients, just reach out to my team, see if we can help.
In pain, so I call Shane. 980-999-9999. In pain, call Shane.